Well, folks, there's your first blaze of the day. Right into the sunrise. So I think we're in for at least 5 or 6 days, starting tomorrow, of cooler weather and no rain. So my goal this morning is to make the 5 miles to the next shelter before the front comes in, if it comes in. And then if it does come in, wait that out at the shelter and let it blow over a little bit. Today we have maybe 2 goals. 10 miles out, there's a campsite called Falls Creek, which looks pretty nice if it doesn't rain too much and if it's not raining when we get there. And then depending on how things go, there's a further option of another shelter that's about a total of 14 miles out today. So I'm in my rain jacket and my umbrella on my shoulder strap.
Because they were all bedded down. But as I'm walking up the trail, they all started popping up. And it was just creepy, you know. I was like, what is that? You know, and I was like, wow, those are cows. And then I'm thinking, you know, I don't know a whole lot about cows. I hope they don't mind me coming through. And, you know, they were laying on the trail, laying all around it. So I'm dodging them and their cow pies in the dark. But I didn't roust anybody up too badly, so they left me alone. Yeah, this is kind of cool.
This is a nice view this morning, isn't it?
Very nice. Yeah, matter of fact, I think I'll pick you up.
So, late start, and the father and son pair are about 100 yards or so behind me. And it has started to sprinkle, but not a lot. I'm coming up on a big water source, so I heard the running water and had to think for a minute, is that the downpour or is that the stream? And sure enough, it's this lovely little stream we're crossing. This is the 3rd water source we've crossed since leaving Ensign Cowall northbound today, all of which have had plenty of water in them, for note to other hikers. We'll see if I can film myself crossing this set of rocks, because this doesn't look too bad. We've been making a pretty good pace today, so we went 2.3 miles in the first hour without really trying because we were busy yakking it up. And it's a little bit more challenging here. The rocks aren't too slippery and they're big and flat, so that part wasn't too bad. We're hoofing it a little bit because that front is coming in, as you can see, but it's not here yet. It's kind of moving to the northeast, but it's probably going to come over us soon. Whether or not it does, it would be good to be at the shelter in case it does. So I think I got about 1.5 miles to go to the shelter, so about an hour. Looks like we're heading up that way. I see a couple of blazes off in the distance, and I can hear more and more rain, so I think I might stop while I'm on the road and put the umbrella up. Someone buried a little piece of gnome art in that tree right there. That's hilarious. So the skies have darkened and the rain has picked up substantially in the last couple of minutes. Late start, and the father and son duo are behind me, I think. I mean, I know they're behind me, but they're behind me by probably 10 or 15 minutes. But we didn't know at the start of the day if the rain would kind of sprinkle on us and be a glancing blow and head to the northeast, or kind of sit down on top of us as it got to the ridge line. It looks like option B is occurring, because I have the umbrella up, but I still have the raincoat off, and I'm going to leave it off because I'm only 1.2 from the shelter. And as of this recording, though, it's not a torrential downpour or anything. It's just raining a little bit harder than it was earlier. So I just crossed that. It's a pretty legitimate stream crossing, and with this rain, it's just going to get deeper. So I'm glad Late Start and the other two fellas have company, because the water's probably just going to get a little bit higher as it goes. But most of the big rocks all the way across were stable, so it wasn't as sketchy as it looks, but I took my time for sure. You can probably hear how the rain intensity is picking up. The Late Start and the father and son duo have caught up to me. That's the father in green, the son in brown, and the weather is just messing with my camera something fierce. I guess technology and water don't really mix, do they? Yeah, so this is the Raven Rock Shelter, and man, we moved into the bougie land of shelters, man. It's got skylights on both ends, and a covered picnic area, and it was packed with folks when we got here, but the rain's let up now. There's a second story, the other skylight. What?
It takes a lot of energy just to get your shit together, man.
Yes, it does. Especially in the rain, man. The rain, we all got drenched, just drenched. It's finally stopped, but it was pouring down rain for the last hour of our hike today. So, you know, we spent an hour here drying out and eating. So this is how a young section and through hiker dries out his socks when he's particularly animated about it. Just beat the water out of him. There's a set of rock formations where we just turned a switchback. And it's a really interestingly laid out little section of trail here. Winding us through a bunch of different interesting little rock formations. And it's been freshly blazed like crazy. Like right beyond that Late Start there. There's 4 blazes on one tree. Make sure you don't miss that turn. So this rock scramble, you can probably see Late Start off in the distance there. We've been doing this for about a half an hour now. Just all the way down this side of this hill. And we have arrived at PenMar Park. And since it's a cold and kind of blustery Easter Sunday, there's almost nobody here. I see just a few cars. I think we're going to find a pavilion and take a little pack-off break here. So some of them, even the open pavilion areas, aren't open to the public yet, I guess, in the park today. That might be the first view of the day, I believe. That's looking nice, isn't it? So, Appalachian Trail, Appalachian Trail, Appalachian Trail, Appalachian Trail. You know, because Dad is Dixie. And this is not Dixie. This is Falls Creek, where we were going to be camping. There's a bunch of nice camp spots up on the hill. But Late Start and I have decided to march on to the next shelter, which is about 4.5 miles out now. Deer Lick Shelter. There's a nice healthy stream here though, and the campsites are really nice. But it's definitely too early in the day to start. We're only probably an hour and a half out from the Deer Lick Shelter, so it's only about, what is it? It's 3 o'clock. Well, Hey there, how y'all doing this evening? I'm coming to you tonight from inside of my Durston because we got to our final destination and they had some nice tent pads, and it's chillier tonight, much chillier tonight than it was last night, so it's a little warmer inside the tent than in the shelters. So I'm at the Deer Lick shelters. That was not today's goal, but it was quite a day. So we went 14.5 miles when we initially really had planned to only go 10 or so. So instead of going 9 miles as planned, we added 5 miles onto the end of it and went all the way to Deer Lick shelters, which I think turned out to be a good thing because and it had been really hot yesterday. The high was 86 or so yesterday late afternoon when we finished hiking. Today, as we started hiking, it was about 56. So much nicer conditions to go hiking in. And a couple of interesting stream crossings. Again, we got rained on a lot, but Late Start and I both had our umbrellas up and raincoats on, and I had a pack cover on, so things stayed dry enough, and we stayed hiking with the gentleman and his son. We crossed the Mason Dixon Line, so that was kind of fun. We had a little fun with that when we got there. We went through PenMar State Park, which is a state park on the border of Maryland and Pennsylvania. I finished up Maryland. All right, so it's another state in the bag. I've now hiked all of Georgia, West Virginia, and Maryland. And so if you think about it, this time yesterday it was in the 80s still as the sun set. Tonight it's going to be it's in the 40s now. It's probably going to be down in the low 30s before the end of the night tonight. And I felt pretty good. My feet got really wet today, which always bothers me, but I think I've gotten them dried out and straightened out okay. I've got a little bit of a blister on one of my index toes. I didn't have any cramping problems last night or tonight, so physically I'm doing pretty well. I slipped a couple times today and kind of landed on my butt going over some rocks, but I didn't fall or anything. I just kind of sat down on a wet rock, so it was embarrassing, but it wasn't a big deal. I had a guy come into camp tonight. I think his trail name is something like because he wears a hearing aid and has a little bit of a hearing problem, but he's a subscriber. So he was just walking along the trail, and as he came in, and I said hello, and he said, "Hey, Data," and I didn't recognize him because we'd never met before, but yeah, he's been watching my channel for a long time, evidently. So we had a nice short conversation as he's camped in his tent way up the hill. Late Start and I are right down by the two shelters. But yes, all in all, it was a good day. And now I'm going to try to get some rest and stay warm this evening. So I hope you all had a good day also. And this is Data saying happy trails to each of you.